Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to sort of be reviewing the Daimon and Lacia on stage videos. I mean, we've already done this, so this is more of an in-depth video of both the heroes and sort of the pros and cons of each hero, sort of analyzing on the play styles and ways they should be played for ranked mode, especially because I know a lot of people who play these heroes are probably going to be bringing them into the ranked mode, so I'm going to be sort of sharing my thoughts and opinions on both the pros and cons of both these heroes. So first we have the Daimon on stage video. So first we're going to be reviewing the gun, which is really overpowered, it seems like. I mean, look at this. So we have a 2352 headshot damage, and for body shot it appears we have a 1176. Like, that's insane. Like, I mean, considering that, like, I think this player or this hero is going to be more focused on tanks, which are more easier to hit your shots on, especially if you're like higher up. Like, look at that, like, absolutely destroyed. Now for tanks, obviously it's going to be a little bit lower, or it's going to be harder to reduce the health of a tank. So as you're like sort of attacking tanks, you got to like make sure you're being careful. So I mean, look at this. This is the gun. It's called the Wrath Cannon. Really overpowered looking. I mean, 25,000 headshot damage. I mean, I'm assuming this isn't even like the max like hero. Like, I don't think this is maxed out. Like, I know that base hero, like level 1, the gun will increase from damage from level 1 to level 10. So I mean, 8852 or 1882. And then 941. That's probably like base level 1. So we're not, I don't even know, because it keeps changing. So it's like 1259 body shot, and that's like 2517. So these are all for different levels of the hero. But even at level 1, it does seem still really powerful. But again, most heroes aren't even like that good at level 1. But this one does seem to be pretty solid of a hero. So I mean, the pros of it are obviously you can fly in the sky and get the attack on the tanks. So it's gonna be really good against tanky heroes, especially Victor, Jabali, Fade, like basically any tank that can't shoot longer range. Ruby, maybe. Ruby can shoot a little bit further, so you might have to look out for rubies. And snipers, which is the cons of the skin. Snipers will be able to pretty much take you out pretty easily. But other than really, you know, DPS heroes taking you out, there's not much who could really kill you. But this ability, the Lazy Bomb, seems really good. There's not much cons of this ability, actually, because I mean, you throw it at the enemy, they get stuck to the ground and they can't really get away from it. Unless they like sort of get out of the region of the splash zone area. I think that might be how it works, but I mean, it's gotta be really good against flankers, especially since like most flankers sort of need the extra jump to get the edge on the enemy, and since you're pretty much reducing their ability to jump, that, you know, they're pretty much easily going to die. So pro to that ability is flankers will not be able to do much against Damien's lazy jump ability. The Glutton Beam is also really good, as we can see, because the Glutton Beam just is a straight line that can pretty much just do a little bit of damage, especially in 5v5. If you're on control, you can pretty much throw this down and make the enemies scatter off zone or try to avoid it, and sort of just direct their attention off of the zone and kill them that way. So you could also use Lazy Bomb, drag everybody down, and get like, what is it, 28,000 damage on every enemy who's on zone. So that's really good. And the passive ability is an Overshield, which is pretty cool. So it's just a little Overshield ability that can gain her extra health, which is a pro. There's not much con to that, honestly. I mean, it's extra health at the end of the day, you know. So extra health is good. So all the pros and cons of this hero are basically, as a recap, is the pros are really good against tanks, really good against flankers, bad against DPS. I'm not really sure about healers, because I mean healers are kind of like their own genre of hero, like, let's be honest. So I mean the healers are probably going to be pretty good against Daimon, but then again most healers aren't playing as damage dealers, so Daimon's basically going to be good against every hero except for DPS based heroes. But there is a con to the gun, which is you have to scope in every time you shoot, which does sort of reduce the amount of time it can take to shoot between every target, between reloading and just straight up trying to hit your target, because you have to scope in every time, which slows down your ability to shoot. But I believe this hero definitely has more pros than cons, considering going up against every tanky hero. So yeah, let's move on to the next hero, which is Lacia. Sorry, Lacia, my bad.
A thrill seeker, always pushing.
So this hero is in the arcade, which is a major con. I believe no one in the community is gonna be like, oh, let's go, another arcade hero. You know, like I don't think that's gonna be a thing. But it does look like we have 67, 20 for the body shot, and pretty free 60 for a body shot, which is pretty cool. And this hero does seem to be really good in terms of movement, sort of like that flanker role. Where we have the Kange Yumi for their weapon, which is sort of like a plasma cannon crossbow mix, which is pretty cool. It has 3 different charging states, which is 1 which is a 5-shot, 1 which is a free shot, and 1 which is a single shot, which is pretty cool. And it does seem you can charge it pretty quickly. So this hero is going to be very similar to Hua Ling, who can basically just, you know, charge it down and, you know, be pretty cool. But it's basically going to be like Hua Ling mixed with Shell, is sort of the vibes it's giving me with the little dash ability. So it's like a damage flanker, which is really interesting. But it does seem like this hero is definitely going to be really good against everything, especially since the wind evasion is able to sort of direct you out of the enemy's line of sight, which is definitely a pro to the hero, because if you're like moving out of the way of every shot, like they're definitely not going to be able to hit you. But it does look like this hero is going to have a bit of a skill gap to him because of, you know, how precise your shots are going to need to be with the single shot weapon. So that's definitely a bit of a con to the skin, is sort of the learning gap. But once you navigate away from that learning gap, I guess, you're going to be pretty good with this skin. Now, the active ability, which is the Geolo Shallow Kunai, is a sort of a radar tracker, which gives you sort of a line of sight on your enemy, which is really good, especially if you need to sort of get that like extra bit of knowledge in where they are, and they can sort of like, it's like a trip mine kind of. The ultimate ability is called the Secret Arts Void Bolt, which is definitely got to be really good against every hero in the game, considering that no other hero can shoot through walls. So since this hero can shoot through walls and do a lot of damage with it, it's it definitely does not seem counterable, which is a pro to the ability. You know, like, what are you gonna do? Like, I mean, there is a con which it alerts the enemy for like a little bit that there's that you have a line of sight on you, and that the hero is using their ultimate, which if I see that, I'm like, oh, cool, like, thank you, but like, I'm dead, you know, like I'm getting shot through a wall. What am I gonna do about it? Yeah. Now, the passive ability is the Reincarnation, which I believe it gives you extra shield. Let's see here.
By landing critical headshots, she generates energy to recover ammo for Hokage Yumi.
Or actually, it just appears that she gets like extra ammo every time she hits damage, which is pretty cool. So the cons and pros of this hero is the pros: she can shoot for walls, she's really fast and can basically avoid every shot the enemy's shooting at you, and she can regain ammo pretty cool quickly, and she does a lot of damage as well. The cons is that she's in the arcade. That's basically the only con to this hero. And yeah, but I do think if Lacia and Daimon were in a 1v1 battle, I do think Lacia would win, considering that she sort of has that bit of extra sort of gauge to her, like extra damage, headshots, and all that. She can move around, but Daimon sort of has that stand in place type of play style, sort of like a turret is how I would imagine it. But yeah, guys, if you want to see me doing a 1v1 Lacia versus Daimon, let me know in Super Season 3, and I'll definitely arrange that and put that in the game next season. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to join my Discord server, as we are growing a community out in that server, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.